Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol DEWM. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to use this time frame. I think does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Did this analysis a couple of days ago, so that's where these red and green line annotations are coming from. And right off the get-go, just want to, because this is a little tricky from a presentation standpoint because of the different perspectives that go into this. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are a day trader and you bought, somewhere up around here and you wanted to sell within, 11.37 seconds, then yeah, for you, the chart's looking pretty rough. But if you care about the big picture of things, then sure, the price is pulled back. Nobody's denying that. But even with the pullback, again, keyword there being big picture, the bulls still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. And when you have higher bases being built over longer, periods of time, that's how long-term uptrends are constructed. And I'm going to be talking about things from a bigger picture perspective. So if I sound crazy calling something bullish, my guess would be you just had a much different strategy and perspective going into the trade. So before anything else, though, some updating here needs to be done and a little bit of house cleaning in regards to these lines. Yes, these lines still pertain, but from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to have a million lines everywhere that can cause clutter and confusion, so I just want to try to keep this as clean as possible. First update comes from a foundational principle in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So for those of you that remember the past video I did, talked about 0083 as a level of support, but now this would be considered an area of resistance. So any sort of bounce to the upside, that first hurdle that's going to need to be cleared is there at the 0083. Next mark would be the 50-period simple moving average, and this just comes from, again, that rule when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance, and this purple line was a level of support for those of you that had been watching. The price fell below it there, and then you can see there the price did bounce back up, but classic example of the support now acting as resistance. But before you even talk about, worrying about doing battle with the 50-period, first got to get up above 0083. From a level of support, let's map out another one of these. And the next key overall level, I think we're almost bounced off it right there at 007, the James Bond level. And circling back to, the whole bigger picture comment, case in point here, I'm not saying this will happen, but let's say the price actually does come down and bounces off James Bond 007 a little bit before heading back up. What would that give you from the big picture perspective? Well, you'd still have the overall set of lows right there. Previous set down here, if you look at each of these as stair steps, the overall stair steps are still very clearly going in the upwards direction. So 007, big picture perspective, important, area for that reason there. So all in all, sure, the price is pulled back a little bit, but the bull still have plenty of opportunity to build that long-term uptrend. So we'll see what happens. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.